Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor, and boy, is this market doing its thing. It's been a long time coming, folks, but as I've said many times on this channel, it was just a matter of time. Now, right now we have XRP at about 42 cents, and that's what you're looking at here. I wanted to show you. This is a website, and it's called fiatleak.com, fiatleak.com. Now, this website has a list of all of the different digital currencies. You can do this with there's Cardano. There's several different, just about all the digital currencies you can do this with. But what you're looking at is a volume chart, or a volume map, really, of XRP. And it's showing you where the most volume is coming from right now with XRP. So obviously, it's the United States, and then this goes into Europe, but it's mainly the United States and over towards Asia, Japan, probably South Korea, if I had to guess. I believe that's the Korean symbol. So mainly, yeah, it's Korea mainly. That's what this is. And then Japan's going to there. So it's a pretty interesting graphical representation of where the buying and the selling is going on, and where all the volume is coming from worldwide. So I thought that there's many of you that are new to this channel, and I'm speaking to you a lot, especially in this video today. I'm going to go over. Let's say you do get rich in digital assets. I'm going to show you what my plan would be to get out, and what you should be thinking about. And I was asked to do this, and I'll give credit to that person here in a second. This is from XRP Crypto Wolf. The Ripple Director of Regulatory Relations, Ryan Zagone, said that technology like crypto and blockchain need to be a national security economic issue for the U.S. to ensure that the country is the leader, since it will be part of our future infrastructure. Now, that is a pretty profound thing for the guy to say, but I'll give you kind of my translation. I've talked about this before. There's been a lot of talk about, oh, is XRP going to be deemed a security, or are we going to get any regulatory certainty? And there's been a lot of FUD articles that have been written over the last year that tried to scare people about XRP. And the point that I've been making over and over is that is all crazy. The SEC is not only going to get in line, but they're going to be the biggest fans of XRP, and here's why. Because digital assets are a global phenomenon, and XRP represents the biggest first mover advantage that I think I've ever seen in my lifetime in technology. Ripple was at this, not just going and meeting with banks and central banks. Ripple was out at this when none of these other companies even existed, and the XRP was what came almost right after Bitcoin, is my understanding. And they have been at this and working at this with a very smart, conscientious group of people for longer than anyone. They are literally ingrained in the different banks and central banks around the world now. And the SEC is not going to look at Ripple and XRP and say, oh, well, you guys just don't do it for us. And here's the other problem. Many of you may not know. The smartest thing Ripple ever did, in my opinion, is they sold 10.5% to SBI Holdings over in Japan. SBI Holdings in Japan is a holding company for many companies, but they control a bank consortium which controls 80% of the banks in Japan. If you think that the U.S. government is going to allow other countries of the world, because it's Japan now, but it'll be other countries. But if you think the U.S. is going to let the #1 company at the forefront of digital assets just go and, oh, we're just gonna poo-poo your whole idea and do something else here. No, that's not how this is gonna happen. There's too much progress been made. XRP has always been the one. It is the one. We have handles on Twitter. There's an XRP Neo, because he knows XRP is the one. It's been the one. The first mover advantage that they have is tremendous. It's huge. And XRP is not just the first mover. It's the greatest digital asset ever created from a technical standpoint. And everybody knows it. There's a reason that it's 42 cents. It should be more like $15, if not 20, is what it should be. But 42 cents, we'll take it for now. But I know where this is all going. I've read enough. I've watched enough. I've seen enough. I know what's about to happen. Okay, and whether it happens today, tomorrow, even this year, this is where this is all going. Okay, spent too much time on that part. But this is from Ripple Red, and this is from when the backed article the other day came out. But I had to give her some credit because she used my slogan here, and I thought it was funny. I hereby announce the bulls. We knew it was just a matter of time, XRP community. Get your big boy pants washed and ready to go. Exactly. She's been around with her big girl pants on for a while now. She's been a member of the community for a while. Okay, Peter Benstead sent me this at LuckyPete1988. He sent me this right here, Uphold Inc. All right, and this is what I wanted to show you. I've been talking about this. When you hit a bull run, it's happened in every single bull run. We've been talking a lot on this channel about how you need to, before there's a bull run, you need to not just have an account to buy your digital assets, but maybe more important than that, you need to get the proper approvals and go through their KYC checks and give them whatever they need, whether it's your driver's license, passports, in order to get approved to withdraw large sums of digital assets and have your exit strategy mapped out. Well, this is part of the reason that you do that. What happens when we have bull runs, it's happened every time, and it happens across many companies. Here's an example from Uphold. Service update. We're experiencing temporary delays depositing and withdrawing BTC due to network congestion. We apologize for any inconvenience and hope to have an update for you soon. Well, this kind of thing happens over and over. And now we have a solution, and I'll mention this and then move on from this. But for those of you whose digital assets get stuck on one of these exchanges for a reason like this, your digital assets should not be on an exchange, which I'll talk about that at the end of the video. They shouldn't be on an exchange. But if they are, and you're stuck on an exchange, but you're ready to sell out, there is a possibility. On most of these exchanges, they have what's called stable coins, where you can sell your Bitcoin into a stable coin, or sell your XRP into a stable coin, so that the price is not going to fluctuate in a crazy way while you're waiting. Okay, so that is an option, but then you incur tax consequences, and so that's a whole different animal. But the point is one, don't leave your digital assets on exchanges because of this type of thing happening. But the other point is, when these type of things begin to happen, it slows down their processes. So if you were trying to get approved for higher withdrawals, you're stuck on the runway behind Lord knows how many planes trying to get the approval, and these guys are busy putting out fires because of the bull market and how fast things are moving. All right, moving along. I got the idea. This guy right here, Andriel King, at Andriel_King, he told me that he thought I needed to talk a little bit about exit strategies for people, because there's a lot of new people that haven't heard this talk. I'm going to take 5 minutes, hopefully just 5 minutes, and knock this out. So thanks to him. Okay, first thing that you need to think about we're just assuming, let's say you've got $200,000 and you're ready to get it out, and you've got it in XRP. We'll use that as an example. All right, XRP, you got $200,000 worth, and I'm going to use USD as my example because that's where I am. All right, the first thing, this is what you're looking at. This is from coinpaprika.com. These are exchanges. These are the highest volume exchanges in the world, okay? Now, these are retail exchanges. Binance is the one that I use that jumps out at me. A lot of these are probably over in Asia and different places, and I don't recognize them. The next one I recognize is Coinbase. But so Binance is where I would focus. If I was going to cash out today, okay, and from XRP, $200,000 worth of XRP, if I was in a part of the world where I could go into my bank account, Binance has the most volume, and volume obviously means you're going to be able to, if I go on there and I want to sell $200,000 worth of XRP, I would like to be able to do it. But if I couldn't do it with Binance, I would do it with Coinbase Pro. Coinbase Pro has reasonable fees. In fact, a while back, somebody was talking about how David Schwartz had moved some of his XRP to Coinbase Pro. If Coinbase Pro is a good enough platform for David Schwartz, who's the CTO of Ripple, to sell XRP, then I think it's good enough for you and me. Well, that is really not what my personal strategy is if I can do it. Okay, I believe the smartest strategy is if you can get on with an over-the-counter broker, if you're going to be dealing with large sums of money. Now, let me give you a caveat here, because I've talked to some of these over-the-counter brokers. I actually have opened an over-the-counter account, and it wasn't easy to do, okay? And I've talked to an over-the-counter broker, and they told me point blank, they said, your audience is probably mostly retail, okay? And even though a lot of your audience is probably going to be pretty well off through this thing, even though that's the case, okay, we don't want a large horde of retail investors trying to bother us. So the reason I'm telling you this is everybody listening to my voice, don't go and bombard these over-the-counter exchanges trying to get an account, unless you are unless you're legitimately a whale. Now, I'm not a whale, but I have a YouTube channel, and a lot of people have heard of my channel, and I think that's probably more or less why I was able to get an over-the-counter account. Okay, but for everybody else, and for most people, 99% of people, if you're not talking $500,000, I wouldn't even approach these guys. And I'm telling you that because these guys don't want to be bombarded by people. But if you are one of those people who would be dealing with those kinds of money, this is the smart play, okay? And I'm going to show you the over-the-counter exchanges that you need to talk to. Now, Binance is used to handling tons of retail customers. I would tell you, ask them, find out. Even if you're dealing with $100,000, let's see if they tell you. But in here, they give you their email. Here's their email address, tradedesk1@Binance. You can email them and find out. Most of these over-the-counter, they advertise that they deal in, here's their requirement right here, OTC for Binance. So Binance, yes, I would recommend that you go and talk to Binance. They said a trade order with at least 20 Bitcoin, okay? So go and email them, find out what's involved, set this up now, ahead of time, folks. Next, Kraken, these guys, and the other thing I want to mention, I know the people I'm mentioning, except for one, I know deal in XRP. The next one is Kraken. Kraken on their retail site deals with XRP, so I have to assume that on their over-the-counter they do also. Now, Kraken says, what is over-the-counter? Over-the-counter trading desk place off the open Kraken exchange. We offer deeper liquidity and private, more personalized service to institutions and high net worth individuals. Whether you are trading blocks of 100,000 or 2,000 Bitcoin OTC. Anyway, bottom line is, folks, if you're not dealing with at least $100,000 and probably more like $500,000, don't even contact these people. But if you can figure out how to get an account with these people, and here's what they tell you about their sign up. Their email address is otc@kraken.com. So that's where you would go with them. And then there's Circle. Now, to give you some background, Circle is owned partially, one of the investors is Goldman Sachs. Circle also owns Poloniex, which is a retail crypto broker. Circle, to my knowledge, they say that they deal with 30 plus crypto assets. I have to believe that XRP is one of those, but I don't know that for a fact. I know that on Poloniex they have XRP. I'm assuming that they do. These are money people. I'm assuming that if there's so much money to be made off of XRP, I believe that they surely would. The other one is Genesis. This is a company that's owned by the Digital Currency Group. And I know for a fact these guys are legit. Just so you know, this is genesistrading.com. This is circle.com is where you go for this. Kraken is Kraken.com. And then Binance, you can search for any of these. Just type in OTC crypto and whatever the name of them is, and you can find them. But before I move along anymore, I wanted to just share this with you. For those of you that are interested or don't understand what over-the-counter means. Over-the-counter is what the wealthy use, institutions and mega wealthy people. What it does is it allows them to buy, and the order books are not seen by the retail market. All this stuff you see on CoinMarketCap, when you're checking CoinMarketCap and you see that XRP's gone up 20% or whatever, though none of that is a reflection of what's going on over the counter. Over the counter is the way for the wealthy to stay wealthy, folks. That's what it is. And that's the reason they create these things. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's what it's about. They're able to buy without moving the market. And then they can, for the last year and a half, the wealthy and the wealthy institutions have been parking their money in all of this. And what you're seeing now, in my opinion, is the release of the retail floodgates. You're seeing it, and institution, maybe the less favored institutional people are buying in the retail market right now. But when I sell XRP, I don't want it to move the market. I don't want it to drive the market down, and you probably don't either, because you might have another sale that you want to make in the next week or two. But it's not like you and I are going to be moving markets anyway. Okay, so here we go. CoinField, I wanted to show you these three things at the end of this video. In the description of every video I do, and now I'm speaking to the newcomers now. In the description of every video I do, I have a link to CoinField. This is CoinField, which is a broker out of Canada. This is a legit broker out of Canada for those of you that are in Canada. Now, CoinField also is open to residents of like 100 plus countries. But if I was a Canadian resident, this is the platform I would be using. They are a legit platform. If in the United States, you need to use Coinbase. I have a link to this. If you want to open an account at Coinbase, you can go and buy XRP on Coinbase. I believe, by the way, that CoinField will offer, I think they give you 10 free XRP just for opening an account. And then finally, for storing your digital assets, in the description of every video I do, the Ledger Nano S, that's where it's the safest way to store your digital assets offline, your private keys offline. Do not leave your digital assets on the exchanges. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family to use a Ledger Nano S and try to create your exit strategy now before things get too crazy. Thank you for listening.